What's up, everybody? What's going on? I just wanted to come on here real quick. You know, it's been a great day. It's been a great day. My Cowboys won. So shout out to the Dallas Cowboys and getting a victory today. We toyed with defeat. But good old Dak Prescott pulled it out at the end. He messed it up in the beginning, but he pulled it out at the end. So shout out to the Cowboys. My man Zeke Elliott had a great game. So I want to get into this, though. I definitely want to get into this. And because what's been troubling in me is that Coach Prime has taken so much slander, right? And for me, I think it's unfair, the kind of slander that he's taking from especially the people of Jackson State and the people of Jackson State and people of Mississippi, right? So follow me on this. Just walk with me for a little bit, right? I'm here in Waco, Texas, right? And in 2012, 2011, we had a football player here by the name of Robert Griffin III, right? And he played for Baylor, and he had an amazing season. What would be his junior year, because I think he could have came back one more year. And he had an amazing season, and he ended up going to the pros. He ended up winning the Heisman Trophy, then going on to the pros. And shortly after Robert Griffin graduated, they built a stadium here, a brand new stadium here in Waco, called McLean Stadium. Now look it up. It's a beautiful stadium. It's a absolutely beautiful stadium. And in the area, I don't know what you would call it, the pavilion or whatever, in the area coming from campus to the stadium, in the courtyard before you get to the stadium, there is a statue of Robert Griffin III. Now, again, Robert had a great season. He won the Heisman Trophy. But what he did for Baylor was he didn't win any championships. He didn't break any Big 12 records or anything like that. But what he did was him winning that championship gave Baylor their first Heisman Trophy winner, which gave them national acclaim, which put them on the map and signified that they had arrived not only as a program, but as a school. They were a player in big-time college football because they had a player that won the Heisman. And because of what Robert Griffin did, they put a statue of him on the walkway as you're coming from the campus, going to the stadium. Beautiful statue. Absolutely love it. Visit it every time I go to a game at Baylor. It's awesome, right? And so when you think about it, Robert was there. He had two really remarkable seasons. And he didn't win a championship either time. He did win the Heisman Trophy, which that's an individual award. But because of the notoriety that he got to school, they commemorated that moment. They commemorated his achievement and his accomplishment by building him a statue. And so that got me thinking about Coach Prime and what Coach Prime endeavored to do at Jackson State. I went back and looked at a lot of the videos I went back and looked at his speech when he accepted the job at Jackson State. I looked at several podcasts that he did at Jackson State, and he really sincerely appreciated the opportunity that Jackson State gave him to be a coach of their university. He appreciated that. He relished that opportunity, and he took that mantle, and he with all his might and all of his force that he had, he used it in recruiting, he used it in promoting the school, he used it in promoting HBCUs. He gained notoriety not only for the school but also the SWAC, and it created a whirlwind. He played in the spring season. I want to say they went 3-4, whatever. They really went 3-3, and I think they got a forfeit or something like that. My point is saying is, and then he, after the spring season, he said, hey, wait till I get my guys. When I get my guys in here, just watch. And then I saw a lot of people, and you can go back and look at them old videos. Go look back at some of Scotty's old videos and stuff like that, where people were calling in and see what they were saying. And they were saying that he couldn't do it in the SWAC, and they didn't think he would be successful, this, that, and other, whatever. He's just not going to come in and win and all those things. I remember all those things that people were saying. And then he starts the season in 2021, and he goes on to go undefeated in the SWAC and win the SWAC championship, goes on to the Celebration Bowl, lose the Celebration Bowl, whatever. He did an amazing job for what is essentially a first-year coach. The notoriety, the publicity that was gained that first year he won the SWAC was tremendous. There's nothing you could have done to hype up Jackson State and the school itself anymore, right? And this narrative that he was saving HBCU football and he was reinvigorating the Jackson State program back to prominence. That was the story, and he was doing it. He comes back the next year, and how does he top that? He tops that by going undefeated in the SWAC and also winning the SWAC championship again. They don't lose a game. They haven't lost a game in 2 years to a SWAC school. Think about that. To go 2 years in the SWAC and without losing a game. Not to mention the notoriety and relevance that Jackson State has in America right now. Like, Jackson State is a national brand. If you say Jackson State, everybody knows what you're talking about. I don't care if you're in Fargo, North Dakota, Miami, Florida, Maine, Delaware, Arizona, California. Everybody knows who Jackson State is, right? Everybody, right? And for that alone, right, you should build a statue of Coach Prime, because the fame and notoriety that he gave or provided to Jackson State is remarkable. Jackson State could not afford the publicity and notoriety that they've gained in the last 2.5 years while Deion Sanders was the coach. They couldn't pay for that kind of publicity and notoriety. And not only that, he used his social media platform, he used his fame, he used everything that he had, right, to create an atmosphere and a brand that made Jackson State not only a desirable school for athletes, but also for students. From what I understand, their application for attendance has also increased, right? So not only did he impact what happened on the field, but he also impacted what happened with the administration and admissions. More applications were being filed to be students at Jackson State, which essentially brings the school more revenue. Again, Deion is not a perfect man by any means, right? But when he was at Jackson State, you cannot deny that he was fully committed. He was fully committed to excellence and building that program to unprecedented highs. You guys, I don't know that Jackson, from what I understand, this was Jackson State's first undefeated season. That's an unprecedented accomplishment that Jackson State received. Not to mention that, just think about the notoriety. Jackson State is in the front of everyone's mind who follows college football because they had the coach by the name of Deion Sanders, also known as Coach Prime. And for that alone, they should always tie their brand to Coach Prime, regardless of what happens moving forward. They should always relish this era in Jackson State football. And he should be commemorated with a statue. I understand that they're trying to build a stadium in Jackson. And if they get to the point to where they build a new stadium, there most certainly should be a statue of Coach Prime commemorating all that he did while he was here as a coach, all the success that the school experienced. He should be thanked. I don't understand the hate. See, the hate, in my opinion, this is just me. The hate comes out of some sense of entitlement of the school, students, and Jackson State fans. They felt like they were entitled to have Coach Prime as their coach. And nothing about having a job means entitlement. A job means that you work at the pleasure of your employer. And when your employer no longer wants you there anymore, they will ask you to leave. Period. And anybody working in corporate America or even down at the factory, if you gotta get an opportunity to make 20 times your hourly wage or your salary, you leaving that job, bro. You leaving. You're not staying at a job when you have an opportunity to make 20 times your salary. That's regardless of whatever your financial situation is. Regardless. And to expect him to stay in that situation and coach at Jackson State when there's an opportunity out there that pays him literally 20 times his salary, asking him to stay or expecting him to stay was completely unreasonable and off base. Now, again, a lot of people say, well, he said he was sent here by God. He said this was a mission for him to go and build up HBCUs, whatever. All that sound good, and he did exactly what he said. He said what he was supposed to say while he was in the position as head coach at Jackson State. He said exactly what he was supposed to say so that all of us could buy in to the dream that's possible, that Jackson State could be a prominent power in college football. That's what he was supposed to do as the coach of Jackson State. Every coach does that when they take a job. They work, they get hired at a job. They talk about it like it's the best job they ever had. They talk as if they're never gonna leave and that this is the only job that's for them. And then what ends up happening when they get an offer from either a bigger school or a high profile job or a job that pays more. I'll wait. What happens? They take that job and they move on. They should promote the job that they're in with all their force and might. They should promote it. They should appear to be totally committed to the job until they're not. And in my opinion, Deion Sanders fulfilled his obligation to Jackson State. It's unfortunate that some of you believed every word he said about he was sent here by God and it was his goal and his mission to build up HBCUs. I mean, that was, I forget what they call it when Trump was. That's embellishment. That's him making the job grand. That's him building up the job itself, right? That's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to promote it and build it up and make it grand and make it seem like he's fully committed. But at the end of the day, when you have to understand when a person is an employee and not an owner. Watch what I say. When a person is an employee and not an owner, they're only as committed as that they have opportunities. Once they get another opportunity that potentially pays more, provides a better incentive package, better compensation package, you have to understand that there is a strong possibility that individual will move on, especially if that said employee doesn't have some type of equity or intrinsic connection to that university. Now, let me see, we got some comments. I heard something. I don't know if we do or not, but I'll check it out. Also, the call line is open. The call line is open if you want to call in. I didn't expect to be on here too long, but I did want to be on here and talk this out. You should. Now, Cassie Davis says that's him lying. Cassie, what should he, when he go on interviews, when he talk in front of alumni, when he gives speeches to the community, should he then say, I'm gonna be here until I get the next opportunity. I'm gonna be here until a Power 5 school comes, and as soon as a Power 5 school comes, I'm gonna go ahead and take the job. What would that do for your morale? What would that make Jackson State's? Wouldn't that lower or devalue the opportunity that they gave him at Jackson State? He's not gonna do that. He's gonna show his appreciation for the people who trusted and believed in him and hired him, and he's gonna promote that job, and he's gonna appear to be totally committed to the job that he has. That's respecting that job. That's respecting the people of Jackson and Jackson State, right? That's what he should say. You can call it lying if you want to, but if you don't understand the marketplace, if you think he was gonna work for Jackson State when there's an offer that pays him 20 times his salary out there that someone is offering, that's ridiculous. That doesn't even make sense. The people of Jackson, the people of Jackson State, the community should have understood as soon as somebody offers him a situation that is better than the one he in, he's gonna consider it. And if it's over the top, something that y'all couldn't imagine, something that y'all couldn't imagine, then again, you have to gracefully let him go. You have to let him go. And you should celebrate him as you let him go. That's what's so unfortunate about this situation, man. It's so much animus and so much vitriol as Coach Prime is leaving that it's so unfortunate, because this should be celebrated. Like a black man getting a Power 5 job coming from an HBCU, that should be celebrated. It should be embraced. It should be embraced. There's no way that it should be that much hate going on for a man who gave his all while he was employed as the head coach of Jackson State. Cassie Davis, Coach Prime didn't shortchange y'all at all when he was the head coach of Jackson State. He did not shortchange y'all one bit. He gave y'all everything y'all could have imagined as head coach. He provided y'all with 2 SWAC championships and an undefeated season. What else could you have expected out of Coach Prime? I'll wait. Let me send this text right quick. I'm good. All right. Yeah. What else could you have expected? And when a man fulfills his obligation, when he's hired in a role, he should be celebrated. He should be commended. He should be patted on his back on his way out the door. The administration and the staff should have a party for Coach Prime. Y'all should have the same kind of celebration as he leaves as the one when he came in, because he left y'all in so much better shape, right? Y'all in so much better shape now than when he came. That's just reality. That's reality. Coach Prime didn't shortchange y'all while he was the coach at Jackson State. He exercised his options to move on, and he should not be penalized. He should not be viewed as a sellout or a coon or a backstabber or a liar or anything like that. Because while he was a coach at Jackson State, he fulfilled his obligation as coach. He exceeded all expectations and made Jackson State the talk of HBCU football and made them relevant from East Coast to West Coast. Everybody knows Jackson State now. There is not a person who follows college football that is not aware of Jackson State and where it's located. It's up to the people of Jackson State from this point on to carry out or build on the foundation that Coach Prime laid. It's up to the people of Jackson State. It should not be his responsibility to carry out a mission that the people of Jackson and the people of Jackson State should carry out into the future. Y'all should lock arms, band together, support those guys on the field, support the institution, and continue to build upon what Coach Prime has already built. See, here's the reality. Coach Prime didn't really build anything at Jackson State. What he did was shine the light on the amazing culture that already existed at Jackson State. He illuminated the culture. He brought more eyes on the culture. And through that, there was more people, of course, willing to invest. There was more people that's willing to help build a program. And that's how they got, better facilities and a practice field and all those things. But these are certainly things that Jackson State could have done for themselves even before Coach Prime get there. They just must have to see value in what they have to offer the world. Y'all see how valuable y'all are now. Y'all see how much the world appreciates what you have to offer as a culture and as a school. You got to continue to build upon that. So let me read one of these comments. It says, it should be under different circumstances. I don't know what circumstances you want. The job was available. He had to get hired before the transfer portal opened at a Power 5 school, right? So that he could actively recruit as soon as the transfer portal opened. The timing, I don't know if it could have been any better, So did the Lord tell him to go to a PWI? Yes or no? Again, even if, see, this is what I'm saying. Y'all black folks take, when people invoke God, way too serious. And you want to hold Prime to it. I've been to church several times in my life. And I've heard people testify and talk about what the Lord did and all this kind of stuff. And the Lord did this and the Lord delivered me this and the Lord told me this and the Lord told me that. 95% of that stuff don't even come true. And I believe that 85% of it is a lie. They may have thought they heard God when they actually heard themselves. But that's just me. That's just me. So when people invoking God, they may be invoking their own desires, their own wishes. You understand? I'm not, you say God is too serious. What I'm saying is when you listening to a man talk about what God told him, then you have to understand that it's circumstantial. How can he be wrong? Is God gonna point out that he's a lie? Is God gonna say you lying, Deion? Is he gonna say,
Deion, you know you are lying. I did not tell you to go take the job at Jackson State.
No, that's not what's gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. That is not gonna happen. So whenever you invoke God, you using a marriage, you invoking something that really can't be challenged. I could say, hey, God called me at 10:45 and told me to go live and talk about Deion. How you gonna prove me wrong? Come on now. Anytime a person, see, again, as black people, we take God serious. We take God real serious when somebody else says. We take God real serious. And I don't think you should hold that. Is Deion a prophet now? Is that what y'all say? Yeah, Deion is Deion divine now? Deion speaks to God and God tells him what to do, how to make each and every move. Did God tell him to call Walmart and ask Walmart to build a practice field? Did God tell him to use his money to finish out the facility? Come on now. You can use God for anything, man. And when people use God, take it with a grain of salt. Thank you, baby. You know what I was thinking of. I couldn't think of. Take it with a grain of salt. Don't take it as the gospel. Prime ain't Jesus. Prime speaking ain't coming out the mouth of Jesus. So take it with a grain of salt. Oh, you say that's a clown-ass explanation. Okay, you can say what you want to. But there are people that invoke God all the time. And there are people who've done heinous things in the name of God. Heinous things in the name of God. And there are people who have done good things in the name of God. How are we to know? As humans, as mere mortals, as people who just walk this earth, how do we know who God talked to and who doesn't? So how serious, how can it be verified? I'll wait. How can you verify if God talks to somebody or tells somebody something? You can't. So again, I think people invoke divine inspiration so that people can get behind them. You know what I mean? So they can get a certain level of support. If you invoke divine inspiration, God told me to do this. I'm on a mission for God, you know. But you should take all that with a grain of salt. Whether God told him to do it or not, he was extremely competent at his job. Whether God told him to do it or not, he won 2 SWAC titles. Whether God told him to do it or not, he went undefeated in his second season. Whether God told him to do it or not, Aubrey Miller, he coached the defensive player, the SWAC Defensive Player of the Year, whether God told him to do it or not. I'm not so Cassie, I don't want to pass morality, a moral standard on somebody based on opportunity. Because when you do that, unless you've walked in those shoes yourself, it's hard for you to understand what that looks like. You know, again, I'm a married man, right? I've been married a long time. And I can say I'm fully committed to my wife. I ain't never cheated or nothing like that. I can say that. And I can say if Beyonce comes up to me and asks me out on a date, I wouldn't go out with her, right? And I promise you, I wouldn't go out with Beyonce if she asked me on a date. But me saying that sitting in this chair behind this camera is one thing. But me saying no if she walks up to me and say, "Hey, Rocky, would you like to have drinks at the Ritz-Carlton?" Me saying no in that situation is a totally different situation. Will I have the willpower? Will I have the discipline to tell Beyonce no? I won't know. I can tell you I would. I can tell you I would. I'm fully committed to my wife. I don't have any desire to be with Beyonce. Beyonce's a beautiful woman, and I'll never cheat on my wife with anybody. But when Beyonce walks up to me and asks me out on that date or to have a drink with her, who knows? Who knows? So that's why I say it's hard to pass a moral standard on someone until you've been put in that situation. And so I don't judge a person's, because I've never had the opportunity to make 20 times my salary. You know, I done got a $20,000 raise before, maybe even a $30,000 raise before. But and it was no question. It wasn't even no question. When I got that $30,000 raise, I went and put in my 2-week notice so fast, it made my boss head swim. And he didn't have nothing he could say. Ain't nothing he could say to make me want to stay. Because I had to go get that $20,000, $30,000. I had to go get it. And I enjoyed my job. I loved what I did, but I had to go get that $20,000, $30,000. I sure did. because I had obligations, not only to myself, but to my family and my children, to provide them with the best possible life I could. And when an opportunity is out there for me to improve my life, to improve my circumstances, man, that's hard to turn down, man. And Deion was offered 20 times his salary. 20 times his salary. Come on now. Anyway, man. Hey, but hey, if you want to call in, I'm taking calls right now. I got my phone. You're welcome to call in. I'll stay on for a few more minutes. For those of you who would like to call in, again, I said earlier, Jackson State should stop the hate, stop the vitriol, celebrate Coach Sanders as he goes on to greener pastures, and build a statue of him to commemorate these 2 years, or 2.5 years that Coach Prime was their coach. Because what they gained by Coach Prime being their coach, they could not pay for it. They don't have the money to pay for the notoriety, the brand building that Coach Prime did. Jackson State is known from coast to coast, from Canada to Mexico. You say Jackson State, you know it. They know exactly what state you're in, and they know who was the head coach. You can't pay for that kind of publicity, that kind of promotion, that kind of marketing, that kind of notoriety. He gave y'all all of that and 2 SWAC championships. Come on now. Let's get that statue of Coach Prime up. I'd love to come back, go to Jackson and see and take a picture, take a selfie next to the Coach Prime statue. That'll be an amazing experience. To go to Jackson State at their new stadium and to see a statue of Coach Prime and to be able to do a selfie and take a selfie of Coach Prime. Huh? He finna call? They need to celebrate. They need to celebrate Coach Prime as he leaves. They need to quit hating. They need to quit all the vitriol. They need to show that man. That man was fully committed as a football coach while he was the head coach of Jackson State. He was fully committed, all in, all the time. He did not deserve what the backlash that he's receiving by the people of Jackson State, the people in the city of Jackson, and also the people in Mississippi. Because again, like I said, he only brought eyes and attention to what y'all already had. Y'all already had a great band. Y'all already had a great school. Y'all already had 4 Hall of Famers. That's stuff you already had. You already had a great history. You know, and Coach Prime came in here and brought attention to that. And and the people of Jackson State can continue to bring attention to that. And y'all should be focused on getting y'all a coach that would allow y'all to continue the level of success and notoriety. See what I said? I said the level of success and notoriety. You can't go back. Man, once you done had a supermodel, once you done dated a supermodel, you can't go back to a plain Jane. So they tell me. Don't know personally. So they tell me. If you had the opportunity of dating a supermodel, you just can't go to a plain Jane. Huh? Yeah. All right. Cassie, go ahead and call in, Cassie. You see the number, 254-300-6330. Call in. Let me hear what you got to say. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Michelle Lewis, tell me what you think about how Coach Prime should be honored. If you guys think he should be honored in a different way, call in. Let me know. At the end of the day, Coach Prime will always be a legend in the SWAC for what he's done. And I don't want to hear it. If you go 2 years without a loss in a conference, with the profile that Coach Sanders has, Coach Prime has, you're a legend. You walked into the SWAC and literally immediately start dominating. Immediately. Immediately started dominating. Let me see. Cassie say that's funny. Let me see what else we got. We got a more coming. Now you say that's him lying. You talking about that's Coach Prime lying? Coach Prime, man, look at here. Y'all can say Coach Prime lied, but Coach Prime came here and did what he said he was gonna do. He told y'all that he was gonna win. He was gonna win big. I watched the interview he did. I forget who he was talking to. He was actually talking to. It was after the spring season, and I want to say it was with I Am Athlete. He said, "I ain't worried about winning. I'm gonna win." And remember, he got his butt kicked after the spring game, after the spring season. But he said, "I ain't worried about winning. I'm gonna win." And what did he do? Somebody tell me what he did. He won. And he won big, man. Dude lost 5 games in 3 years, man. 5 games in 3 seasons. Man, you can't beat that, man. This is a legend. Deion Sanders is a legendary coach. Legendary coach. Let me see. This the approach Jackson State should have, right? Follow me this. It's gonna be a little scandalous what I'm about to tell you, but just follow me on this. Y'all remember a few years ago? I don't know if it was the VMAs or the Source Awards or whatever. Kanye, Grammy Award winning artist, showed up with a chick with a blonde shaved head and an amazing figure. Nobody knew who that woman was, right? Nobody knew who that chick was, did they? They didn't know who it was. We would later come to find out that it was Amber Rose, right? We came to find out that it was Amber Rose. Kanye had been dating Amber Rose and they dated for a while or whatever. And then Kanye and Amber Rose broke up. And then all of a sudden, she couldn't expect to go to get another Kanye because Kanye's a Grammy-winning artist. But she met an up-and-coming artist by the name of Wiz Khalifa, and then he started dating her. Raised her profile. Dating Kanye, and then dating the up-and-coming rapper who would become a major recording artist eventually. Made her a household name, Amber Rose. Just dating those 2 guys made her a household name. She couldn't go from Kanye to dating Bob at the supermarket. She went from Kanye to not as famous a guy, but a guy on the come up, Wiz Khalifa. And I think that's what Jackson State has to do. Yeah. 254-300-6330. Hold on. Let me see. I think it's. Hold on. Can you call it? 6330. 254-300-6330. Say we get numbers of people trying to call in and they can't get in. No, I'm not. Hold on, let me open it back up. Oh, I am getting calls, and it's not ringing. I'm getting calls tonight, and it's not ringing for some. Are you calling now? Let me see. Yeah, it's not. Hold on, man. Let me see. See, this is live. This is live conversation right here. So hold on. Let me get it right. All right, let me see. Now call me again now, baby. Hold on. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to get this phone situation straight out right now. Hold on, hey guys, I'm trying to get my phone situation straightened out, so y'all bear with me again. Hey, give Coach my regular number, and he can call in on that. I think he got it, but just make sure he got it. Let me know he can call. He can call straight in on that. I wonder, is my phone on Do Not Disturb because it's 11 o'clock. Hold on. How do you take your phone off Do Not Disturb? Hold on. That's what it is. It's on Do Not Disturb. My bad, guy. My Do Not Disturb is off now. Y'all can call. I'm dumb. Yeah, I'm dumb. Hey guys, I'm dumb. My apologies. I had Do Not Disturb on, and y'all were not able to call in. So you can call in now. You can call in now. I feel so foolish that I'm calling you live on the air. Hold on. Let me get you. Calling you live on the air. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, go ahead, man. What you got?
Hey, man, I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Where you calling from?
I'm with you I'm calling from Albany, Georgia, man.
Go ahead, man.
229.
So yeah, like I say, they should build a statue to Coach Prime, man. They should stop hating. They should go ahead and start collecting those coins up. Since they should use the money they were gonna pay him in salary and collect all that money up, man, and build a statue of him and commemorate the seasons that they had while Coach Prime was here, man. And hopefully they can win on Saturday and win the national championship, man. What do you think all the hate is coming from, man? Talk to me. Explain to me where the hate coming from.
Man, you gotta understand this, man. As black folks, we do that crab in the barrel thing, man. Like every time we get elevated, we feel like we supposed to just hang around. Like you gotta sit and think about it. It's just like, say you get a new job and your old job might be hating on it because they might be paying, more, but they want you to stick around for the, that same position. Really, that's a black thing, and I hate it as a culture. We do that, because you don't see white folk doing that. They get elevated. It's congratulations. If it's anything I can do to help you, they with that. And that's just how we are as a culture. And it's sickening, but it's true. But it is what it is.
Hey, bro, I got another caller, man. So let me take this next caller. You live on the air, caller. What's your name and where you calling from?
Man, it's the coach, baby. This is the coach.
Hey, what's up, coach? What's going on? Good to have you on, man.
Go, folk trying to go to sleep, man, and boy, you getting folk fired up, baby. I'm swag now. I'm swag.
Yeah, coach.
I'm swag.
You swag to the bone, coach. Coach, let me ask you this. Me and you talked last week. I tried to get you on the show last week, and our schedule just couldn't work out.
Yes.
But coach, why is it that we just can't celebrate a guy getting an opportunity after him doing an amazing job at the institution where he was hired? Why can't that said institution can't just celebrate his accomplishments and send him off with a celebration rather than a bunch of negative backlash?
Well, ain't no question, man. That's cultural. And, when you don't have something and it's the old crab in the bucket, unfortunately, that our people are like that, because we don't have a whole bunch of successful folks in this country to understand the dynamics of you're not attached to anything, especially when it comes to a job and especially with coaching. There's two types of coaches, one to get hard and one to get fired. And me being in the business long enough, I know, because if Coach Prime would have went in there and didn't do well, then they would have ran him out of there. So I don't have a problem with that with Coach Prime at all. And like you say, we should be cheering him on in Colorado. Me as a black coach and HBCU coach, I want to cheer him on because one thing that he can deliver is that a coach can come from an HBCU school and take over a Power 5 school and be just as successful.
Yeah.
So I'm cheering him on and hope he does well.
And coach, now I got two questions for you. One of them is, what do you think about? I'll ask you the first one. This one. What do you think of him by staying on and coaching at the Celebration Bowl? What do you think about that move? And is that something? That's a rare opportunity. Most coaches aren't afforded to have the opportunity to coach in a bowl game once they've taken a new job. What do you think about that, Coach Prime being able to coach in the Celebration Bowl after he's already taken the Colorado job?
Well, that's really basically up to both schools, because it is the national championship. That makes it something special. But sometimes, and most of the times, and 99.9% of the time, except for Prime, that he come back and coach, usually the head coach just move on. And the assistant head coach takes over the team and coach in the bowl game. So Jackson State must think it's special enough to make sure they keep all pieces together to win the game. So winning the game, they have made a priority. But usually the head coach moves on and they move the assistant coach up to coach the last game of the year.
And the last thing, Coach, do you have a prediction for the Celebration Bowl?
Yeah, I think Jackson State will win it, this year. You got better players. You got lock-up corners. It ain't like North Carolina Central is knocking the wall down either, They come with I think it's about 7-4, 7-3, a working like that, and they've lost some games to some people they were supposed to beat. So, but then again, with all the confusion and his son walking around with Colorado hats on, and it's a lot of things going on over there at Jackson State. So if he can get them focused, and I've spoke to some of the coaches over there. Gary Flea, the assistant head coach, and T.C. Taylor, they seem to think that they got things going in the right direction.
Yeah, I think focus is the big variable in this game. I think Jackson State has a talent edge. I think they have they definitely have the defensive edge. I think the coaching edge is to Jackson State. But though I was very impressed with Trey Oliver and his interview at the Celebration Bowl press conference, I just think, overall the coaching edge goes to Jackson State. However, the big variable is, will the players be able to focus amidst everything that's going around? I think it could work to their favor because Jackson State hadn't had a lot of adversity this year when you talk about real adversity. You know what I mean? They've been the prohibitive favorite in most of their games. They were the more talented team in all of the games they took the field. And this gives them the opportunity to really have a situation where they're going to have to overcome something. And I'm really looking forward to see if they can focus and almost have to turn it up a notch in order to be successful in this game, Coach, man. Hey, Coach, we got to get together, man. I got to bring you on and get you on an interview, man. And Coach.
Hey, stop all that, statue stuff, man. Come on, man.
No, Coach. Yeah. What I'm saying is this, man. So what I liken it to is here at Baylor in Waco, Robert Griffin has a statue, right? And the reason why he has a statue is not because he won a championship or anything like that. It's because he won the Heisman and he brought notoriety and legitimacy to the program here at Baylor. And they took that, they used that for that reason alone, they built a statue of him. Man, I'm saying, considering the notoriety and the prominence that Deion Sanders brought to Jackson State and the people of Jackson, they should erect a statue to commemorate the time that Deion Sanders was at Jackson State, man. I just think it was that significant of a time period for Jackson State and HBCU football these last 2 years. I think it's been tremendous, and I hope that the people of Jackson can continue the momentum and build upon the foundation that Deion Sanders has established of excellence.
Right. See, one thing, Bucky, you got to know about Jackson State. They don't rebuild, they reload. In the 80s, they won eight SWAC championships. In the 90s, they won 3. In the 2000s, they won 4. Then the coach, after Brian, Coach Cumsey, he went to the SWAC championship 4 times.
Wow.
4 times. And the history of the school is they've been in the top 5 in attendance for the last 40 years. So it ain't no secret. They got more Hall of Famers than some of the big time schools. Mm-hmm. So when Sanders came in there, he took them to another level. Let's get that straight. They went from averaging 32,000 to 42. So ain't no question, and ain't no question. They damn sure should have a picture of him up there. But when you talk about a statue, you better start talking about W.C. Gordon. Coach Hughes. Them guys was champions. You know what I'm saying? And it's been done before Jackson State. They've been one of the pillars in the SWAC conference, man, since I've been involved, like I said, since 1981. So what is that now? 42 years? They call me an expert. And they've had some great athletes come out of there. Great athletes coming out of it. But he done a great job. You can't deny that. And that's what this game is about, man. It's about, like he said, it's about elevating.
And when he was
elevate, meaning Colorado is better than Jackson State, but 300,000 and 5.9 million.
Hey, Coach, I got another call. I'm gonna take this call, man. Thank you for calling. We gonna hook up. All right.
Okay. I'm gonna listen to you.
Calling you live on the air. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, my name's Q.
What up,
Georgia?
What up, Q?
What's going on, man? Yeah, I'm with you with the whole statue thing. You know what I'm saying? But I just, I kind of feel like, he's leaving some staff members behind. Just like, it was all hype, when they brought the strength and conditioning coach in, from Georgia. Like, he brought, that D1 strength program that they have at UGA. Why he's not taking that guy to, Colorado with him, since he said that's his guy. And like, Flea's supposed to be his guy. When Prime had his little foot injury and whatnot, Flea took over 3 or 4 games. So, I feel like, he should take Flea with him. I know why he's not going to take TC with him. I mean, everybody knows that. But, I feel like, TC was never his guy since he was, a holdover from the previous staff. So that's how, kind of why he's not going to take TC with him. And he kind of wants to let TC stay at Jackson to kind of keep that morale going that they already had. Because if you bring in an outside coach, they're going to try to change the whole culture of what Prime has set up already.
So how about let me step in here and ask you this: What if Coach Flea, who is a HBCU guy through and through, what if TC, who is an HBCU guy through and through, what if they decided not to go with Coach Prime? Do you think that could have been a possibility?
I mean, it probably would have been a possibility, but if Flea decides, say, hey, I'm gonna stay at Jackson, hell, he should be the head coach. Let TC run the offense. Because you got some people in HBCU are saying that he kind of screwed TC at one point. You made him your OC, then you demoted him down to receiver coach. But then at your exit press conference with your team, you're gonna say, "Hey,
let's be accurate. Let's be accurate. TC was never hired as the OC. He was the play caller at one point. Let's just say that he was the play caller. He was never hired as the OC. He was the play caller.
Well, play caller.
Yeah. So again. So let's be accurate about that. Again, man, I think he wants to do Jackson State a solid, and I don't think Coach Prime wants to gut the program. If you take all the coaches away from that program, how many players you think will stay? You understand? They have to leave some guys there that were familiar with the players, that the players will not all exodus all at once. They have to keep some stability there. And I think Coach Prime, that's why he's not taking every coach from Jackson State, because he doesn't want to rip the guts out the program.
But let me ask you this. How many players you really think are going to stay at Jackson?
I think
not saying the big names that we know. Not saying the big names.
So this let me explain this to you. I think 90% of the players are going to stay for this reason only, right? Once they get a coach established and the players get to talk to the coach, the new coach, and the new coach gets to tell them that they are a defending SWAC championship. They are potentially a defending national championship. And they should have the right to defend that national championship, and staying in that program will give them the opportunity to defend that national championship and that SWAC championship. That's an easy sell for highly competitive young men. That's an easy sell, right? So, because you also got guys who didn't play much who are now going to get time to play. You're also going to have who have guys that aspire, who played a lot, but aspired to achieve the levels of Aubrey Miller and also Deion Sanders, right? So you got to understand, these are hyper-competitive young men, and they want to achieve the highest levels possible, and they realize not all of them can go to Colorado. And if they do go to Colorado, right, let's be honest, that team was 1-9 or 1-11, I think, right? And what's the chance that Coach Prime is going to have immediate success? I don't believe he's going to have immediate success. I believe he'll have some success. But with USC, UCLA, Oregon State, Utah, all those schools on his schedule, he may not have the level of success that he experienced in Jackson State. The odds are
he's gonna have his hiccups that first year.
He's gonna have his hiccups that first year. And again,
he probably barely make 500.
And again, I just think for players, if they get the right coach, they'll want to go and defend that SWAC championship. So I think 90% of the players are going to end up staying at Jackson State to defend that championship. But they will need to get them a quarterback.
Right?
Go ahead.
Well, let me ask you this: who you think gonna be the head man?
I have no idea at this point. If I had to make a choice, right? If I had to make a choice.
If you were Ashley Robinson right now, what would you do?
If I was Ashley Robinson, I would hire a guy like Mike Vick. I would hire Ray Lewis. I would hire Ed Reed. I would not go back into the realm of recycling HBCU coaches. I would go get a known commodity, a big name, and put experienced HBCU coaches around that guy and let him lead the program similar to what Prime did while he was there. You got to understand, if you get a guy like Mike Vick, you get a guy like Ed Reed, they have the same level of cachet that Prime had. They don't have a charismatic personality, but they do have the cachet. They are also Hall of Famers. They're also, Mike Vick, not a Hall of Famer, but he's an icon. And so if you get a guy like Mike Vick and he goes in the kids, and so you get a guy like Mike Vick and and Mike Vick is able to recruit a quarterback, get you a quarterback in that can play like to me, Jackson State needs a quarterback, right? The backup quarterbacks that I've seen are not it. And so if you get a guy like Mike Vick, he can go in and talk to a quarterback and recruit you a quarterback that can have an impact this upcoming season. That's what I believe. Go.
Okay. I feel you, because I know a name that's been thrown out there. Two names really been thrown out there. Cam Newton.
Yeah, Cam. I wouldn't like. I don't like Sap. I don't like Sap. I don't like the Sap hire at all. But I do like Cam Newton.
I heard LT.
What LT?
It's a lot of names floating out of there.
LT who?
Deion Thompson.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I didn't know LT was interested in coaching, but that's interesting.
Yeah, hey, threw his name in the round, man.
Hey, buddy, I'm about to let this go. I'm about to wrap this up, man. Thank you for calling in, my brother. All right, guys. All right, I want to thank everybody who called in. We reached the hour mark, man. I want to just go ahead and wrap this up. I want to appreciate everybody who called in. I want to encourage the people of Jackson, Mississippi, Jackson State University, to come together to celebrate the accomplishments of Coach Prime and the teams that played in 2021 and 2022. And they should erect a statue commemorating not only Coach Prime's accomplishments, but the accomplishment of these two teams. It was absolutely incredible, and it's something that should be remembered for the ages. And a statue would be a great way to commemorate this era in Jackson State football. This been your boy Rocky, man. Much love, everybody, and I'm out.